Welcome to the Regional Collective podcast. We're all about sharing stories of success, challenges, and the amazing community spirit in small and micro businesses. Here, we redefine small business with big hearts and determined hustle. Get ready to be inspired by regional entrepreneurs making a big impact. Whether you're just starting out or already on your business journey, you'll find motivation and practical tips to help you thrive. We believe in the power of community. So let's share, support, and celebrate regional businesses together. Tune in and get inspired to thrive. Hi there. Join us this week for a chat with Lisa Bakey from Saxony Building. We're diving into their amazing journey in the building industry and discover how Lisa and her hubby Luke's passion for construction and interior design sparked the creation of Saxony Building, a family-owned gem in the heart of the Barossa. From their early startup days to their impressive growth and success, Lisa shares their honest dedication to personalised service, craftsmanship, and how they've done it. But let's dive in for an inside look at their story and how they've turned their business dreams into beautifully crafted realities over the course of a decade. Thanks, Lisa, for joining us today. So first of all, you own a building business with your husband. Can you just perhaps give us a background into what Saxony Building does and all about?
Yeah.
And then perhaps how you got started as well.
Yep. So we've had a construction company now, it's 10 years we worked out this year. So it's been, a long time.
Yep.
Doesn't feel like a long time, but it actually is in numbers, I guess. So we are custom home builders. So people come to us sometimes with plans, sometimes without plans.
Yep.
We like it without plans because then we create our little team together to then build everyone's dreams, I guess. So we've got 5 employees on site, plus a lot of subcontractors that are local, some not local, but so that's the essence of what we do.
Yeah, and how did you get started? So is that what Luke was involved in, was he in construction beforehand?
Well, sort of. We were laughing about it last night, actually. So Luke started off as a boiler maker out of school, so welding and things like that. Yeah. He started working for a framing company here in Tanunda.
Okay.
It's called Nomadic Enterprises. The Rosenzweig family owned that, and that's where he kind of learnt how steel frames go together. Yeah. And then I think he did a bit of a course, never really put them up, just made them in the factory. And then I got a teaching job over on York Peninsula, and I think I was there for a term, and then Luke couldn't live without me, so he came on over and needed to find some work. And it's quite an interesting story, actually. So his brother lived over there. His brother had some contests. He give Gary a call. Gary is a builder. Yeah. There were 2 Garys. We didn't really know. Luke rang the wrong Gary.
Oh no!
So he rang the wrong Gary. Happened to be a builder over there though, so there were 2 Gary builders. And so Gary owns Wallstead Quality Homes over in Moota. He's a very well-known builder over on the peninsula. So Luke rang him, said, I put up frames. Do you have any work? And so Gary said, come around to my house. Come and meet me and we'll catch up. I got home from school that day and I said, Luke, how'd you go? And he goes, Lisa, do you know that house? And everyone probably knows it if you go to Moota Bay. Yeah. Beautiful house, the biggest house in Moota Bay, on the corner just before you get to the jetty. He goes, it was that house. So he goes, I went to that house, big staircase, all the things, and Gary goes, start Monday, come on in. And so Luke started working.
How long after did he work out that it was the wrong Gary?
I think it was later. It wasn't even in that moment. So it was a bit of a sliding doors moment. So he started working, and so Luke had, I think he said yesterday, he'd only had 3 days worth of putting up frames, so he'd never really done it. He's kind of jumped into something that he didn't know. And I was just so vividly remember him getting the plans. He studied them all weekend. And that first house that he put up, it took him 5 weeks. It should take 5 days. And it took 5 weeks. And Gary never even said anything. So we're like, can't really work that one out. But he's like, oh my God, I had no idea what I was doing. He had someone working with him and he was a casual getting $17 an hour. And that's how that kind of framing started. And I think Gary probably saw something in Luke and got him to get his subcontractor's license. And then we started employing people. And that was our first little taste of employing people. I didn't have heaps to do with it because I was full-time teaching. So that was Luke's his business and his employment. So I didn't have heaps to do with it. But we employed 2 other guys, and that was our first taste of work health and safety and all of that kind of stuff. Having no idea even how to invoice the builder, how do you do wages, what's a pay slip look like, all of that kind of stuff. We had no idea. So that was the first taste of that. And I think Luke probably got a little bit bored of that after doing that for quite a few years. Like he's always someone who's seeking to do something different, seeking to learn and grow and things like that. And he's not that person who's got his dad as a builder but our parents are not in business or anything. So everything that we've done is new and fresh and learning on the go. And so he probably got a little bit sick of the whole just putting up frames. And a lot of the frames for him to start with there was lots of development in Moonta Bay and Port Hughes. So there's like a Patrick's View, Patrick's Cove and the Wallaroo Marina that had no houses in it. So Luke built some of the first houses in there with the frames and got to learn a little bit at the start of construction, but had never... You see the end of house, but he's done it onto the next house. So he never actually saw what happened in like a whole build. And he's like, I want to be a builder. And we'd always loved houses and building, and we built for ourselves and things like that. And he's like, I want to be able to build homes for other people. I want them to have an amazing experience. Like we love building and we want other people to enjoy that as well. So he's like, well, I run a startup. My goal is to build architectural homes. And at the time I was teaching, I'm like, oh yeah, good luck with that. So good luck. Happy to help. But so then he got a little bit sick of that, and that's when we moved to the Barossa. And we often look back to, like, we moved here, no jobs, no house. We sold our house, we bought a block of land. It was new, trying to find new jobs, new schools, new everything. Like, we came with nothing and starting up a new business. He did a quick little vintage at your lumber. So that was like the start of it. And he actually just, when we moved, he got his builder's license as well. So he hadn't even done that. And quite often when people get their builder's license, they're working for another builder. He didn't have that. He was on his own and kind of leaned on a few mates that were in the industry. And so got his license and just started. And then here we are 10 years later.
And then when did you transition from needing to be working, in your career, but then also moving into the business?
So a little bit, I look back, it's probably a little bit when the kids were little. I would sometimes send some invoices out. Luke's very particular. I didn't do it how he would like sometimes, and I vividly remember going, right, I'm not doing it. You're on your own. Back to teaching for me. So when we moved here, I was doing a little bit of teaching and a little bit of just bookwork stuff for him. Even prior to that, before I even got into teaching here, like, we had nothing, no jobs. I got a job at Typo at Elizabeth Shopping Centre. That was just to get some kind of income, and it was like 3-hour shifts. So I dropped Matilda off at childcare, Ollie at ELC. It cost us more for childcare and ELC for me to go there. And all of that, but for us to look like we could earn an income for loans and all of that kind of stuff. That's what we had to do. So eventually, got into school here, and then I was doing half and half, and just found that it was hard. Trying to headspace, I wasn't doing either well, and then you throw the kids on top of that. So I think we probably got our business into a position where we could afford for me to let the school stuff go, because we weren't relying on that income as much. So when that little transition happened, then that allowed me to come into the business.
And how did you feel then, having that kind of, like, sort of simplified life, I guess, a little bit? Because it gave you the permission to just fully be in the business. And how did that feel?
So I guess if we look back on, like, part of, like, what our why is for having our own business, a big part of that is time. And we don't need all the assets and all the fancy things. Really, we wanted a business that would buy us time to do the things that we want to do. And if that means going down to Matilda's size and netball in a couple of weeks, we can do that. And we've got the flexibility to do that. And that doesn't mean that we work any less. And I think that's to get your headspace around that too. Like, you have
That's the perception of that. I don't have to work as much. Like, you work differently.
We do work differently, and it's the stuff at night. It's the other bits and pieces that people don't see. And sometimes it's hard to push past that guilt, because I think people see me at sport and all of that. Cause like, what is she having coffee? I see you in cars. And like, oh gosh, she doesn't do much.
We have some good business chats.
We do. It's like a little coffee. So I guess it's been training myself to not feel guilty in that space, because we do work hard, and the point of it was to get the time to be able to do those things. So that flexibility was so important.
And how, getting on to, I guess, how you've built you just talked about your why, and how have you sort of positioned yourselves and Saxony Building, and what your purpose and your mission is? So what sort of work have you done in that respect?
We even went back to talk, because we've been doing some back-end business strategy at the moment, and went back into, like, what else was it? Why did we even start this up in the first place?
Yeah.
And a big part of it was we love building and we want others to have a really great building experience.
Yeah.
Like, how many people do you hear? I always say, like, you go to a barbecue, someone there is building. There is always someone who's doing some form of building and they're not having a great time.
And you someone else has heard another story.
Yes, and it's hard. And we're just so passionate about that. Is the biggest money you will ever spend probably in your life.
Yeah.
And how many people have a bad experience doing it?
Yeah.
And so part of our why is just to give people a really great experience building. So we've really drilled down into what gives someone that great experience. And so that has become part of our values. And it's the communication, the relationships, the teams, and all of that kind of stuff at the start, creating that creates a really nice build at the end. Quite often, like, you see the awards, the flashy houses and all that, but who knows what's going on in the background of that. And for you to get to that point, was that actually hard? I don't know, but ours is really experience, emotion, feeling, that side of it. So that's
and creating something together as well, isn't it? So we, I've heard from other people who have used your services as well. That's been a big part of it. Is that, and I think you've sort of really nailed that ethos of communication and I think managing expectations as well, setting expectations.
Absolutely. And I even think back, like, on our inquiry form, we don't necessarily ask, like, how many bedrooms do you want to build? What do you want? It's not what you want to build. We don't know why you want to build. Like, tell us, what are your hopes and dreams for this project? Let's bring that to life. And so let's create the team that we need to bring your vision to life. Like, what's your why? Let's bring all that together. So
and you can be the facilitators of that. Yeah. And I guess as you've grown as well, how do you make sure that you've got that, attention to detail, that craftsmanship in that? So what sort of, how do you make sure that that's all part of it?
Buildings and custom building is so different. Like, everything is different. Every house is new. And quite often it's things that we haven't done before. In each build there might be an element that we haven't actually done. And so it's all learning. And a lot of it is really leaning on the people that we employ and the people that we work with. Luke always says, like, I can't build everything. I can't lay bricks. That's not my skill set. I'm not going to try and do that, but I'm going to find the best person who can do that and has the same values as us and can actually create what we want to. And I think a lot of that with our team as well, it's not only about the quality of the work that you do, it's about the person that you are as well. The way you conduct yourself on site. I think we've seen past sites, there could be language and all of those things. We just really take pride in the people that work for us, that they just conduct themselves beautifully, they speak beautifully, they take care of the site, and just really respectful of this is someone's place. Like, we treat it as like it's our own place, and we don't have rubbish lying around. Like, it's tidy, it's clean, and products are respected and looked after. So that creates a nice product at the end, but it actually creates a great experience too.
That's it, rather than going, they've made a mess of our our space.
There's a dent in this wall because someone carried something through and knocked it and things like that. So just really respectful of the place, and just really good people to work with, and that communication and teamwork element too. So the team that we have created really supports our values in that, which then creates a great product at the end. So it's almost like the product at the end is a byproduct of the quality that you've got to start with.
And that's it. And I guess does that fall into both yours and Luke's role? You share that role in terms of looking after the team, or do you split it? Or?
It's really hard, and I think we're delving into that leadership and what does leadership look like. Luke does a lot of the site stuff. I'm more just the front end stuff. And to be honest, I'm pretty relatively new to that. So I have sometimes just felt like an employee rather than a business owner in that. But I think after doing this for a few years, I do feel a bit more comfortable in that and working with Luke rather than underneath him as such. But I think we always just lead by example and lead by doing. And I just, I think the way that Luke conducts himself when he speaks to people, and just how he holds himself in the care and that kind of stuff, it just really filters down. And that the main leading hand boys on site, they're the same, and I think their individual values have just flown on, and it's kind of just,
that's where it's so important to find the right team members that share your values, because skills can be learned.
Exactly.
Are really hard to,
and creating that culture, and just that, and culture's a funny word too, like how do you create culture, like how does that actually work? And we kind of dived into that a little bit too, and really tried to nut out It's just the space, the feeling that you create, and the example that you set.
Yeah. And like you said, it's the way that you speak, the way that you conduct yourself that all presents.
And it's not all roses. Like, there are hard conversations to have and things like that too. But if you can do that in a really respectful and considered manner, I think that it comes out too.
I've got some questions from our members. So interested in that sort of building project side of things, can you share an experience where perhaps your team went above and beyond for a client?
Yeah,
or is that just the norm?
And I was talking with Luke about that, and we were kind of nutting through it a bit. And to be honest, if there's like some isolated situations where you are going above and beyond, that's time that you haven't allowed for. That might be products that you haven't allowed for, and that affects your bottom line at the end of the day. So you don't want to have to be doing that all the time, but it's bringing it in at the start. This is the expectations. And this is what you get when you come to us. This is what everyone gets. That's just not one person's over and above. And I think the perfect example of that is, I think and this is probably comparing with project homes, like custom building and project homes is very different. But when you build a project home, you sign up for it, get all excited, they lock the doors on you. You can't go in there. You cannot visit that site. You might get on a little bit if there's a tradie in, and you can sneak in and have a look. Or if you know someone in the know, and you can come and have a little look. But building is that's when all the hard work comes to fruition. And for you not to see that spins me out. So I guess one of the normals for us is that Luke will have a site meeting nearly every 2 weeks with clients to come on site. Have a walk through. Bring your kids, show them their bedroom. This is the exciting bit. Have a walk around, have a look. And in that time, you might see things that, I'm not really sure about that. Can we tweak this? Yes, you can.
That's the time to do
when those conversations can be had. And sometimes, things might not be right or whatever, and that's fine. We can fix that. Or, this is great. This is tracking along beautifully. Go tell your friends.
Rather than
this
get
is great.
To the end and then go, that's not right, that's not right, that's not right.
Exactly, because other builders, practical completion is when you first go inside your house, which just spins me out.
That's amazing.
And then that's when you're meant to be, you're half excited looking at all the things, you're looking for all the wrong things, it's just, there's a lot going on.
To take in.
So by the time we get to practical completion, you've seen everything, you know everything, and you're ready to have it handed over. So I think just those little things are part of the experience, which is a normal. And so even I think of like online portal, like you can see the schedule, you can see that a tiler's going to be there on the 17th of June. Other builders, you have no idea, and then you're doing drive-by, saying, is there anyone there yet? Why is anyone there yet?
They got the tiles off.
Yes, what's going on? Can't contact the supervisor because you're not allowed to have contact with the supervisor. You have to go through the office and things like that. Like, you've got access to us. You can contact us anytime. Business hours.
But putting those things in place, so using that technology opens up that communication. So it means that whatever system you're using to coordinate, people have access to it. So it's not necessarily extra work for you to do, but it's keeping it transparent and open.
It is, we've even had people overseas when we've built for them, and so we upload photos every day on our daily log. That's just part of our recording of what's happened, and you get to see, tiles have gone in, that looks great, that tap's in the sink,
And like you said, that's that point of difference, because we know and most of the stories that people would have heard of have been with project homes. And we've got to pay extra for this, we've got to pay extra for that.
Variation, yes. You can choose a tile, choose 1, 2 or 3.
That's it. And another question that we had was perhaps so you've been in business for 10 years, so what were some moments, or did you ever feel like giving up? And then what motivated you to keep pushing forward despite the difficulties?
There's one really particular moment that we always go back to. That was our lowest of low point. That was Luke. I was in Adelaide. Luke messaged me at 3 a.m. I must have been staying at my mum's with the kids, and he goes, we need to do something. I can't do this anymore. I was kind of half and half in the business, I think, and we were busy. We were doing work. We were pumping it out. We were employing people. That was all good. We were not making any money. We didn't know why, because we never run a business before. We were just siphoning money, and we were in our own personal lives just having to be so frugal. I remember getting like strawberries from the supermarket on special to make jam, so we had jam. Our holidays were intense. Like we could not do anything. Our priority was sending the kids to the school that they go to, so that's where exactly. And it was, do we change schools? Do we sell our house? What do we do? We cannot live like this. And the alternative was finding a job with someone else and being an employee again.
Yep.
Knowing that you can hit a ceiling with that.
Yep.
Life fulfilling, probably not, because we started a business and we just didn't know. And there was this guy, Kurt Schweiler, who's South African, but was a builder's coach, a builder's mentor. Yeah. So we organised a Zoom meeting with him and I cried the whole time to this South African guy over. So he was in Melbourne or Sydney or something. I cried the whole time. He's like, "Tell me about your business." I couldn't even talk. I think Luke was in tears too, and we didn't know what to do.
Because you're carrying all of that. There's so much pressure and responsibility, especially if you've got staff as well. And that feeling of there's so much overwhelm.
Yeah, and we didn't know what we'd never ran a business before. Everything we thought we knew. And a lot of it is around profit and margin. And you don't talk to other builders or you don't talk to other businesses about, you can see what they do. Oh, that business is going well. They're doing all the things. Yeah. But behind the scenes, like no one talks about that and you don't know. And so you're under the assumption that...
So I think you were saying when we had one of our coffee chats in the cafe about not having enough profit margin on your quotes as well. So you were not allowing for all the other
overheads. We thought that 15% on top of a job, that's fine. Yeah. That's what everyone does. And even a HIA contract now will tell you a cost plus is the job plus 15%. That doesn't even cover your overheads, let alone anything else. So no wonder we weren't making money. So Kurt was the first person that kind of funneled us into, he'd call it like, what are your blue jobs, red jobs, yellow jobs. So blue ones for the jobs that you actually make really good money from. Yeah. They're the ones that you need to target. Start doing those jobs. So it was us, going through everything. Because we was doing things like changing gutters to like renovations to all the things. So if changing gutters makes you a lot of money, do that. That's your channel into that. But it wasn't, funnily enough.
And like when we first needed some work done as well at the workspace was doing, just fixing doors and doing things like that. So quite a lot of like fixing things.
It was, and it was like general labour and things like that. And that's, you've got to do a lot of general labour stuff to make money on that. Yeah. And so that was our first point at starting to change the way we looked at our business. Yeah. We got in another accountant who really helped us with some business mentoring. And then after seeing Kurt just for those few little bits, Luke transitioned out into the Live Life Build group and you would see that a fair bit on our socials. Yeah. They've been really pivotal in really looking at you as a person, not as a business who's making a lot of money. How can you be a great person, be happy in your personal life to then work well in your business? And what do you need?
It flows through, doesn't it?
It does. And what do you need to make your business work well? And so this is all the front end stuff, communication, like client-based stuff, plus processes, procedures. Are you putting enough on your jobs? Where are you spending your time? How are you being a great leader? It's not about the fancy house at the end. So they've really changed the way we've set up our business, and it's still hard though. It's still not. We're still reliant on our income at the end of the day. Like we're reliant on us. And if that doesn't work, and I think there's that sense of responsibility of our employees are reliant on us too. Their livelihood is based on us, and if we're not doing it well from our end, they don't have a job. We don't have a job. It's hopeless. So that's the driver.
And that's it, but at least you've got some supportive base around you as well. And that's also, as you grow to scale, that's your job as a leader in the business, is to find the other people that can help you, because you can't do it all on your own, but you need to have the right people around you.
And there's some amazing builders interstate, and there's some in Adelaide as well that are just really like-minded, and it's really nice to work with them. We don't really even... We don't worry about what any other builder's doing. Everyone, great, do your own thing. We're not fast. We just do our own thing, but it's nice to have people that work in the same manner that we do. And so that's how we learn and grow. I think teaching is such a collaborative industry. We team teaching, you're working together, all of a sudden into building, doing your own thing. Don't talk about anything. Don't just show your pretty project at the end. And so to have builders that are aligned with that, it's game changer.
And that are able to, like you said, help you to share and grow as well. If there's people, so it's good to find like-minded people within the same industry as well. And I guess, is there anything else that you would, suggest for businesses who have been perhaps in business for quite a number of years, that may not necessarily start up? Maybe having those questions of do we keep going or not?
Yeah.
Some of like what sort of, I suppose, insight would you give for people who may be in that sort of position?
Luke and I were listening to, we go to the gym in the morning early, and he always put on a podcast. I'm happy to sit in silence or listen to music, but he puts on a podcast. And today, one of the sayings in there was sometimes you're too close to the painting, you can't see the picture.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just need to step back. What is working? What isn't working? Why isn't it working? So find that thing that you need to change or tweak, and it might just be the smallest little thing. Yeah. But keep pushing forward. Sometimes it is easy to go, oh, another alternative. But if you're passionate about it, and if your why is still strong, that's your driver in that space, I think. Yeah.
Excellent. And so what have you got exciting things planned for the rest of 2024?
Yeah, a few extension projects on the go. Probably, I don't know, we don't normally talk about the project and that kind of stuff. Like, I feel like it's a bit, how's building going? I don't know. Yeah, it's good. We probably more talk about the front end stuff and who we're working with. We're chatting with some really good designers and architects to build in as part of our team. So that's probably that's what we find is exciting, I guess, rather than the types of projects. And so just got some clients that are aligned with how they see the building process, I guess. Yeah. And we just see building as, we're not just a price on a piece of paper, and we kind of find it quite challenging. Sometimes we'll get fully developed plans. Here, can you give us a price? Yeah. It's so much more than that. Yeah. Like, it's really investing from the start and using builder's knowledge right at the start. Yeah. And so to create that kind of space. So finding clients, we've got quite a few coming to us that are really aligned in that. So that's really exciting. Luke's really passionate about sustainability, passive houses, and really learning in that space. Yeah. So I think he might even do a bit of study in that kind of space down the track, I think, and just learning about new products. So that's probably where the excitement kind of comes. And I'm doing more interior design stuff, which is super fun. I kind of look back to like when I was a kid, and I was always passionate about like moving my room around, and my Tony Wandra poster was like the focal point, and that's everything was based around Tony Wandra. So I'd always been super interested in that, even like classrooms, setting up spaces that feel nice and have great energy. And I studied a bit of that when the kids were little. So for me to be able to do more of that in our business is really exciting as well. So,
and that's the key, isn't it? Finding what you're passionate about and what you do well. You do that. Yes. Other people who do other things well, they do that.
And I think that's what we've learnt too along the way. Find the people who are good at what they do. We can't do everything. So bring in those people and support you and kind of lift you up too. Yeah.
But no, excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for another more of a formal chat than the ones at the coffee shop.
Quick little one. No, I'm pretty reserved. I don't love talking about myself. So this is a bit out of my comfort zone.
But great to learn, especially from being, as a more established founder as well. I think really good to know that it is a long game.
Yeah.
If you want to be in it.
Yep. Yes.
If you don't, there's always a choice.
There's an out point, isn't there? Yeah, exactly. But
awesome.
Thanks for having me, Shelley.
Well, thanks for tuning in to the Regional Collective podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us. And you can join our community each year to get exclusive resources, expert advice, and connect with other regional business owners as a member of the Regional Collective. Check out our website to learn more. There you can also find free tools like strategies to grow locally and the ultimate business startup checklist. Stay connected with us on social media for more tips and updates. Let's thrive together and make your business shine. Keep pushing forward. You're not alone on this journey.